Welcome, one and all, to sorry. Welcome, one and all, to the Satanic News Network live on Wolf King's channel. So recently, on the weekend, Saturday, I believe they had the Satanic Temple of Los Angeles had a brilliant satanic black mass, which was lovely. I'm just gonna show you that right now. Okay. All right. Now this fantastic. Here's some pics of. Let me just see if I'm showing it. On Saturday, the Satanic Temple of Los Angeles held their biggest event ever, a massive satanic mass complete with a live bloodletting ritual. The purpose of the mass, according to the Satanic Temple's website, is to inspire personal and societal liberation. The event, which was in partnership with Das Bunker, doubled as a fundraiser for a number of causes, including the Women's Reproductive Rights Campaign, lawsuits concerning violations of the First Amendment, and providing education and assistance to individuals incarcerated in our for-profit prison system. Once attendees made it past the massive line to get in, there was live painting, the first come, first served tattooing. The event was essentially a goth industrial show with many attendees dressed in costume. There was a mosh pit and crowd surfing. There was a demonic cat lecture by Paul Cordenaris, I believe, and a destruction ritual and an invocation ritual. The invocation included a statement of the principles of the Satanic Temple, aka the Seven Tenets, including a call to question everything and standing up for racial and gender inequality, and ending with chants of Hail Satan. Coven of Ashes performed the bloodletting ritual, and the bands Lumerian's Author plus Punisher and Three Teeth performed. So pretty amazing ceremony, pretty amazing black mass. If I was there, that would be awesome, but I was there in thought, so. That is pretty fucking cool. I like that. All right, moving on. Let's see. Yes, so there was another thing I wanted to cover about this. Not about this. The let me just pull that up. Satanic. Oh yeah, this fucking guy. Yeah, this true free thinker dude. All right, let me just. This is perfect. Screen share is being a bitch right now. I'm just. Okay, so we're going like this. Oh, okay. It's up there. Anyway, the Satanic Temple. Okay, on the Satanic Temple's fundamental tenets. I'm not gonna read all that shit because because this guy's fucking nuts. He's into the precept bullshit, but also he likes to do this armchair psychology nonsense. All right, going down. Note that since they are generic meaning, not well defined, and also on premise, it is not only difficult to understand what the Satanic Temple means by them, but they leave a lot of wiggle room to wiggle out of them. Yeah, whatever. For example, one should strive to. Oh, okay. So this, yeah. So, true free thinker apparently like Mariano. I'm gonna call him his name as opposed to that bullshit. Apparently, he's critiquing the fundamental tenets. For example, one should strive to act with compassion and empathy towards all creatures, but only in accordance with undefined reason. I don't know why I put undefined there for some reason. Thus, as per my own personal reason, my manner of striving with compassion and empathy towards all creatures could differ. Oh my God. What an ass. Yeah, so he's playing silly ass semantic games and stuff like that. It's ridiculous. For example, the Satanic Temple is very, very openly in favor of human child sacrifice, which is called abortion. Yeah, because child sacrifice and abortion are the same thing. What a silly fuck. They are actively in favor. Yeah. Yeah, that's lovely bullshit. Thus, when they claim to believe as a fundamental tenet that one's body is inviolable, subject to one's own will alone, they betray both the generic manner whereby they communicate and by supporting abortion, they most certainly do not believe. Actually, they do, because a fetus is not, it's not an independent body. It depends on the mother, and it really depends on the context of the situation. So if the person was raped or got it through incest, it really depends on their life and their resource to actually do it. As opposed to guilt tripping them and completely trying to change it into human sacrifice, whatever the fuck that is. And you ever notice with these religious types, they never actually go into, if they really want abortions reduced, they talk about like, hey, let's get better sex ed in there. Let's advocate birth control, shit like that. But no, they don't. I actually got into an argument with a guy like that, and he was all like, "Oh no, we can't use that because you're just putting them at risk of being single parents." And I'm like, "No, you're not, because that reduces the need of them getting pregnant and the need for them getting abortions." These religious types have got no understanding of what logic actually is. Anyway, moreover, when they claim we should see our best to rectify it and resolve any harm that may have been caused, then what about the harm of brutal murder? And yet, that was within the context of we make a mistake, and abortion was not a mistake, but personally an innocent human life. Yeah, here's the thing. First off, it really depends. Like I said, it depends on the context of the situation. And let's just reverse this, because the way the religious thought works, it's crazy. Just their mindset. Let's just say that a God exists, right? And he's in control of everything and all things, right? If that's the case, then he's the biggest advocate for abortion ever, because every natural miscarriage that occurred, he was basically cool with it. He just ordained it. So yeah, if your deed exists, he's cool with like abortion actually existing, because miscarriage is like natural abortion, and he allows and ordains all that shit to occur. So fuck off. All right. Now, one fundamental problem with basing beliefs on our best scientific understanding of the world is that we are not told to whom R is. See what I mean? These bullshit semantics. Is are the unquestionably infallible experts who are at least treated as such? Well, I don't know who used the word infallible. I guess that was you. I've never used that. Is are the experts who held the now debunked steady state theory of cosmology? Is are whatever the experts tell us? No, it's about the evidence that they have to bring to the table, the studies and tests that they've done to actually accumulate that evidence and view it, and the theories that they actually come up with that describe the phenomena that we're talking about. Yet more fundamentally, there is hard science and there's soft science is also. Yeah, here he comes in with all the bullshit. For example, biology is a science, but evolution is a worldview philosophy. No, actually, it's not. It's a scientific theory which explains the biodiversity of life, why we have so many different species, how they can adapt to it via natural selection and genetic mutation. We got fossils, DNA and all that stuff. And he's coming out with that creationist nonsense. That's the history of evolution as a theory, is a history of mistakes, jumping to conclusions. Yep, creationist bullshit. Anyway, moving on. Also, they are open about the fact or the claim that they do not worship Satan, and yet they constantly display imagery and has historically been created and employed by Satanists. Now they can make the excuse that is simply a ploy, but is that what it is? It is that which it is. Displaying imagery which depicts things in which they claim they do not believe. This is why I argued that on Freedom and Logic and Satanic and Atheist holiday displays in Boca Raton, yada yada. We just on broadcast for a minute. Not on broadcast, but just take this off screen share. Honestly, they just don't get the irony. They really don't, and the fact that they don't really is really telling. All right, that's good. It's not that we actually believe in Satan. We use it as a metaphor for free thought, for skepticism, for personal anarchism against the system and the status quo. And mainly, it's to ensure separation of church and state remains absolute in this country. But let's read further. Let's read further into what he has to say. All right. They claim that the freedoms of others should be respected, but they are open about seeking to erect such displays, not so much to have their say, but have the displays disallowed as so as to reach the goal of having Christians' displays be not allowed as well. Well, I mean, that is sort of the thing. I mean, if you're talking about putting up one monument, you got to bring all those monuments up there, or not at all, but you got to remain it nice and secular. All right. What else this fucker got? Greaves was asked, so are you Satan worshipers? And replied, definitely not. So there goes the false claim to believe in freedom of belief. What? Oh my God, this guy is so slow. Greaves was asked about the Satanic after-school Satan Club and replied, it's helpful for children to see that people can hold diametrically opposed religious points of view, but still be good, productive members of society, be non-criminal and friendly. But why presume that Satanists are non-criminal? Are they some sort of special humans who commit no crimes? Or, oh my God, this guy is so disingenuous. They're talking about their group, not anyone else's, but yeah, apparently this guy wants to, okay, so he's connecting it. Let me just screen share this. Okay, so he's trying to link the Satanic Temple to the Satanic Panic bullshit. That's nice. Anton LaVey and some other, I don't know, criminals or whatever who were involved in child abuse. Yeah, well, fun fact, they're not, we're not connected to any of this. All right. But see, I could basically take something like, I don't know, the Crusades, the Spanish Inquisition, the witch burnings. Oh, and even today, faith healings, where where the parents get the kids sick. Well, they don't get the kids sick. They wait until he has like some horrible fucking disease, and they say instead of taking him to the hospital, they just pray and he'll magically get better. Oh wait, he doesn't. He dies. I could connect Mariano to all that shit, and he'd be all like, "Oh no, they're not true Christians." Yeah, well, these guys, they're not connected to this new satanic form of thought. That's an old way of thought that's been died. That's old school thought's been closed. So yeah, true free thinker. I think you should actually, instead of coming with your, ridiculous armchair psychology and just your false analogies and equivalencies, and actually just look at what they have to say and maybe get enlightened on it. All right. So there. All right. What else we got? I think we got one more story. Okay, this can work. Okay, so we got after school Satan Club starts in Mormon country thanks to Christian groups. Christian evangelicals only have themselves to blame after a new after school Satan Club has popped up at Vista Elementary School in Taylorsville, Utah. According to Salt Lake Tribune, the club was approved after other Christian-based clubs sprang up at the school, Pathos explained. Quote, if you are going to invite religion into schools, you have to invite everybody, says Charles Bilf of the Utah chapter head for the Satanic Temple. Quote, you can't just say one is good and the other is bad. The school was forced to send home a letter to parents explaining there was nothing they could do about the club and it was legal and the school had no discretion on this issue. Excuse me. Bliss explained that these clubs won't actually worship Satan. Instead, they work to teach children the importance of science, critical thinking, and the understanding of the world around them. Kids naturally have the ability to be curious and question things, Bliss said. We're just basically saying we should bolster that. Moises Steves, a spokesperson for Child Evangelism Fellowship, thinks that the club is a misguided attempt by very confused folk. He went on to call it nothing more than a publicity stunt compelled by their despise of God and their despise of anything Christian. Bliss explained that the club is perfectly transparent of what they're doing. We have nothing to hide, and we legitimately feel we're offering a really good curriculum for the kids. Yeah, let me just do this now. According to the national website for the club, the group thinks that keeping religion out of school is the best route. And I agree. But the worst case scenario when religion is allowed in the schools is an environment in which one religious voice enjoys the exclusive benefit of delivering its teachings to the children, promoting the understanding that their religion is endorsed by the school or otherwise was special privilege within their community. The site reads, the Satanic Temple does not advocate for religion in schools. However, once religion invades schools, as the New Good News Group clubs have, the Satanic Temple will fight to ensure that plurality and true religious liberty are respected. Indeed. Hail Satan. That is good. I enjoy that. And as long as these messages and thoughts and lessons can be taught through Satanism via these noble actions, I think that can be respected. And the Satanic Black Mass that brought entertainment and help to a lot of people and causes. I hope we see a lot more of that. I hope we see a lot more of the teachings of the left-hand path within secular America in order to protect it for the better. And so I ask you all of this path to keep working hard and keep going forward, because secular America needs to be protected. And the image of the ultimate rebel, I believe that those lessons, those teachings are what's best if we're supposed to keep it safe, not just for us, but for the generations that come after. This has been Wolf King. Peace out. If you like this video, you know what to do. Stop out and hail Satan. Thank you.